Welcome back! Ha. So I am approaching the midway point of week 4. I'm still pretty buzzing, to be honest. I'm very tired, and that's a given. I think everyone's very tired. I've had this awful rubbish cough since about the end of August, and that's still taking over, but I think that it's on its way out, so hopefully I'll be sound as a pound in not too long. My breath is like really shallow, it's just I'm sure I'll be fine. Yeah, everything's a bit crazy. Like I don't feel like I have time to think, but I think that's good in a way. I feel totally immersed in it, and I sort of said to myself this first year that I wouldn't get too trapped in that bubble again. As much as it's amazing, it's so important to have that outside life. So today I met up with a friend outside of LAMDA. I haven't seen him in ages properly, and we wanted to catch up and stuff, so that was really nice, a nice break. Yeah, I just think that's really important, to make sure that you have a life outside of the bubble of drama school and the environment you're surrounded in. Today is our half day, it's Wednesday, and you finish at 1:15, and then everyone gets to either go home, or you can rehearse scenes if you need to, or practice stage combat, which is what I did for about half an hour this afternoon before I met my friend. It's a really good time to kind of breathe, get your washing done, get rid of all your smelly movement clothes, and do some shopping for food and cook for the rest of the week, etc. This week, the third year shows opened, so my good friends Imogen and Billy, who I lived with on the foundation, they opened, well, Billy opened last night in A Few Good Men, and Imogen opened on Monday night in The Wolves, and they're all American plays, I believe, so that's very interesting. I am going to see A Few Good Men tomorrow evening, and I'm very excited. It's going to be so weird seeing them on stage when they were my first years. Yeah, it's bizarre, but I'm really excited for them, and they seem like they've all got their heads in good places. So, midweek 4, I am very spotty. We do a lot of rolling on the floor, which I anticipated, and I mean, my skin just hasn't taken to London water or the germs very well, so like, I could just feel it all around my face. I've got makeup on today, but usually I'm just like bright red, and I'm terrible. I pick my spots. Don't pick your spots, people. I'm gonna scar my face eventually, idiot. And I'm always sweaty. That's great, you really wanna know that. Yeah, tired all the time. I fell asleep in Alexander technique yesterday. Alexander technique, if you don't know, is like, you lie in semi-supine, so with your knees up, and it's all about like helping they don't like the word posture, but just stopping before you do anything and thinking about how you're using your body to do stuff, and you do a lot of lying down and kind of sinking into the floor, and it's beautiful. But when you're super tired, it's rather difficult, and I think I might have snored and woken myself up yesterday. Yeah, not good. I'm sure I'll pick it up. I think my body's still getting used to the routine of being in like 10 till 9 most days. We had a class yesterday with a guy called Vic, and it was called text on our timetables, but he's calling it something along the lines of shielding imposter syndrome, which felt very apt for me yesterday, because I was feeling like there are thousands and thousands of people who audition for a place at drama school, and then they picked me for some crazy reason. So I was feeling really like I was feeling like an imposter. I mean, basically what we're doing is we have to read a play each week, and then he encourages us to get together in these classes, and we have to talk about them and say how we feel and why. The main important thing is why. And I find it quite hard to analyse things without consciously doing it, so it'll be really good for me to get in a routine of that. And then I feel like if I get more confidence in my own voice, I'm gonna feel less like I'm an imposter. It's so rubbish when you feel like you don't deserve to be somewhere. I mean, it's not deserve, but it's kind of like you can't take it for granted, and I don't think I am, but you just got to remember that it could have been someone else in your position, and you're very lucky, and gosh, yeah, I'm so lucky. The poetry heats are happening this Wednesday and next Wednesday, so every year they do a poetry competition at LAMDA, and you can win like £200, I think, if you win. There's like an original section and a published poetry section, so you can enter both or either or whatever. Yeah, they hold heats with 2 of the voice teachers. They're on the panel and you perform them to them. And then if you get chosen to go to the final, you perform in front of the whole school on an evening, which is so lovely because it's like just beautiful language being shared with everyone. I'm doing the heats for that next week. I think it's really started to hit me how emotional and vulnerable you can feel in certain classes and when you're doing exercises, and you've got to really look after yourself and make sure you're not self-indulging in things and using exercises as therapy. I feel like I would have done that a few years ago, and now I'm like, there's stuff that I still haven't dealt with that I don't feel happy bringing into my work. So, you know, I need time to process that still, some of those feelings still, and box them away first. Whereas there are other things I can get out of the box and I can kind of use, which is great. It's not raw anymore, it's like something I can deal with. I feel like I'm at that age where I don't feel the need to use my personal experience or like personal feelings going on at this current moment in my work, which is grand because it can get very depressing. We're doing loads of different exercises at the moment. We did a sleeping partner exercise where you have to ask someone to play a person in your life. So for example, in my situation, I got a guy in my class to play my dad, and then I have to sneak in because I was looking for his phone, and it has to be like high stakes, and the teacher hides it in the space somewhere. You have to set up your room, like the object exercises we did a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I had to sneak in and it was just like, oh, I don't want him to wake up. That was good fun. If anything, out of these first few weeks, I've learned that it's okay to take your time and it's okay to take time for yourself. And I said this to my class yesterday when one of our voice teachers asked us what we've learned so far, and I was like, yeah, I've realised, although obviously everything's like fast-paced and high energy and you're on the go and your brain's ticking all the time, I felt like it was fine for me to not go into the common room at lunchtime, go and sit on my own and have my lunch on my own and do my own thing without feeling guilty about not being with my year or like friends or whatever. It's just so important in life to just take a second, even when you're really, really busy, just take a second to check in with yourself and know that you can't deal with everything straight away. You have to just breathe in the moment. You can't solve all your problems at once or do everything on your checklist. You can't do that in one go. It's good to take your time. I'm so tired right now, even though it's a half day. I'm like, whoa, slow down. Slow down. So I'm hoping to do more of these vlogs in the near future. I think that things might pick up even more over the next few weeks. Time-wise, I think we'll get more busy, but I still enjoy doing it. It's a nice thing to do to sort of reflect on how things have been going. And it's nice to keep a little diary that's not just me splashing out random thoughts on paper, it's me splashing out random thoughts to you. Can you tell I'm tired? I will catch you all soon, and love you, Mum. Bye!